sharing their transformational story. And I'm so stoked to introduce the third and as well last speaker of today, of the transformational speaking graduation day one. And this woman has that asset too, that asset of full on authentic strength, which makes her just beautiful without even speaking. But she's going to share the story. She is the founder of GP Solutions, and she's going to share the creation of how you can get to a mindset of success. The next speaker of today is Jessica Pertuz. Jessica, the stage is yours.
Hello, everybody. I just want to really congratulate Jamie and Nilsa. Wow, what powerful women you ladies are. And it was just so amazing to listen to you both. So hi, everybody. My name is Jessica Pertuz, and I'm here to share in what I would hope is going to be an empowering story to inspire you to not give up on your dreams and to tap into your potential. I'd like to share a story about this little girl, a Colombian girl who was raised with two Colombian immigrant parents. Now, these two parents, they were pretty much raised with a lot of challenges. Being immigrants coming into the US, not having a clear plan of what they wanted to do for their life and their career. They faced a lot of challenges. And at the early age of 1 year old, this little girl lost her mother. Her mom decided to leave. And she was stuck in a position where she had to be raised by her father. Now, what you don't know also is that this gentleman who was this little girl's father, at the early age of 19, 2 years before she was born, he used to work at a gum factory, and there was a massive explosion, and this man was burned from head to toe. Now, the chances of this man surviving that accident was very small. However, he did. Now, you can only imagine a person like this who did not seek any emotional support therapy, having to recover through the challenges that he was facing with his injury. He struggled with his emotional side. And of course, unfortunately, he struggled with his emotions. And at home, that environment became very toxic. Unfortunately for this little girl, she had to endure a lot of the emotional stress. Now, not knowing how to make meaning of any of this, she struggled with understanding the purpose of life, understanding what meaning she can give to it. What's great about it, though, is that there was always a part of her that loved watching movies. And one thing was for sure, she loved to dream. She loved to dream big. She loved hearing stories of people who overcame challenges. So while she was facing a lot of these challenges at home, there was that part of her that always felt that maybe there's that potential for more. Maybe there's something big that's going to come from life. Now, unfortunately, she still struggled with a lot of challenges. As she started to reach her teenage years, she struggled with her father, who now started to verbally abuse her and physically abuse her. This girl endured a lot of pain. She struggled where she considered suicide. This suicide continued multiple times. It was now a pattern of hers that she continued to focus on. She really just wanted to end her life. But the one thing that she did notice is that the reason she wanted to end her life is because she didn't want her father to suffer. She didn't know how to help him and how to make things better. She started to take on that burden of believing and thinking that she was the problem. Because of course her father, not knowing that the things that he was saying in those moments, while all he needed was help, he needed somebody to help him understand that these emotions that you go through when you've been through such a challenge as what he's gone through, it's not something that's always going to be easy to do on your own. But within time, if you stay focused on an outcome, on a solution, you will find your way there. But of course, she struggled with this. Now, to make a long story short, at the early age of 15, she decided to run away from home, mainly because she felt that her life was at risk. She also feared that something could go wrong with her father because when she was a sophomore in high school, teachers, people started to notice the bruises in her body. So she started getting those questions being asked. Is everything okay at home? And she's watched plenty of movies. We know how that outcome comes. They're going to call social services. She's going to be removed from her home. She's going to have to be forced to live with another family. Now, this is something that she never felt comfortable with because deep down, this young, smart little girl who thought that she didn't know things had the awareness of recognizing that it wasn't really her father's fault. That man was living with a lot of pain. And she also started to recognize that she was living with some pain. Now, the amazing thing that happened is that when she was out on her own, she had to make a living for herself. Now, she had no idea what she was going to do. I mean, imagine 15 years old, being out on your own in the streets, having to make a living for yourself. She ended up, leaving school to work full time, started to work in the nightlife industry. She faked her age. She grew up in New York City, so it was a little bit easier to kind of fake and get away with it. But fast forward 13 years from working in the nightlife industry, she also embarked in working in the legal field. Now, the amazing thing is that she had such a determination. There was one thing that she did recognize from all the challenges that she was going through, and that is that she can make something of herself. And even though she had no idea where her path was going to go, if there was something that sparked her interest, she went for it. And the cool thing was she started to achieve the results. She wanted to get the job working in the nightlife industry. She wanted to make her way working as a manager. She succeeded in that level. And the legal field, she started off as just a receptionist because she had no experience. And within 4 years, she ended up working for one of the top prestigious law firms in New York City. Now, at this point in her life, she started to recognize that maybe there's more. There was more that she could tap into. And so she came across a friend who worked in the nightlife industry, who was a DJ, and they both embarked on starting a company, and they started a media company. Now, this media company ended up becoming one of the most successful media companies in the country. It was widely recognized from top media networks like ESPN, NBC, ABC, CBS. They were nominated for Daytime Emmy Awards for a lot of their projects. Now, thinking about that, talking about that little girl from where she came from, now many people would judge and assume that the chances of her actually succeeding in life would probably be very rare, even for this little girl. And one of the things that, unfortunately, that I wanted to bring up into this conversation is the awareness of pattern recognition. Now, we have patterns that can empower us or disempower us. We have patterns that are going to make us successful or fail. And often in times, we have patterns that are so hardwired in us that we're not even aware of them. And while this young lady was reaching such a level of success, on the inside, she was slowly dying. She was hurting because what she was seeking was love. What she was seeking was connection. She thought that the success was going to give her the happiness that she was craving, but it was only temporary. And so she would spiral herself back into this place of darkness, of sadness. And it wasn't until the age of 27 where she finally attempted suicide, and she came very close. It is thanks to a friend of hers, her old business partner, that rushed her into the emergency room, and they saved her life. Now, she had spent 3 days in a psych ward, and that is when she woke up and realized something had to change. There was a part of her that she knew there's got to be more. There's got to be more meaning to this. And so this is where she started to embark in the personal development journey. And she came across this amazing man, which I'm sure you all know, Tony Robbins. And she caught the documentary where he started talking about, how he became the #1 life and business strategist in the country. And he started to share his story about his upbringing with his mother. And in that moment, he started to talk about how we can find all of our challenges can become our greatest gift. And in that moment, that is when she made the decision that she can choose to see all of her life challenges as her greatest gift. And so she pursued wanting to focus how to better understand this and how to find success, but how to achieve the love and the happiness that she yearned for. Now, I'm sure many of you can guess that that little girl was me. Now, fast forward now, I'm 46 years old. On this journey that I went to, not only did I start to achieve every goal that I ever set out for, but I started to achieve more than that. And I'm here today because I want to show you and explain to you that if there is a part of you that deep in your heart, in your core, whether it's a dream, a thought, or an idea, something that fires your soul, this is your calling. This is your mission and your time now to choose. Choose to believe in yourself. Choose to believe that you're being nudged by the universe, by God, that's telling you you are meant for more. And don't ever choose to see your challenges, your past, as anything other than greatness, because it is your gift. And I am a firm believer that any of us, we all embody a special gift, and we just have to tap into that. And my mission now is to help inspire those who have dreams, who have visions, that have ideas, but maybe they don't know how to tap into that potential or how to stay consistent or how to see results. Because here is another thing that I want to say. It is not just about taking massive action. It's about setting smart goals. Smart goals have to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, but also time-bound. Because as you start to measure these results, you're going to start to realize that you can actually achieve those results a lot quicker. If you are measuring and you're taking consistent, massive action, but also recognizing when maybe a pattern is coming into play that isn't serving you, that isn't supporting the goal that you're trying to reach, the life that you're trying to create. So I hope that my story inspires you to recognize and think, what is something that I've always wanted to accomplish? What is a dream or a goal that I would love to achieve? And ask yourself, am I going to choose to make it a must, to make it happen? Because if so, and if you would like to connect, feel free to reach out to me. Again, my name is Jessica Pertuz, and it has been an awesome pleasure to connect with all of you.
Wow! That was so good. Please put in the chat your immediate reaction. I know, Jessica, that you're going to enjoy the chat up until now because people are like speechless yet profound in the chat. That was phenomenal. And this is a question that I can only ask like this, and I'll put you in the backstage. Well done, Jessica. Well done. Is a question that I could ask is, who here feels more connected to Jessica now? And not knowing what everybody's in the backstage, by the way, is raising their hand like this. And not knowing what she would offer. If she says, who would love to go next? Who is just gonna at least take the step of booking a call? Everybody's raising their hand again. This is the power of stories. This is the biggest asset that you have. Your personal life experience is the only thing that changes you, that differentiates you from someone else who's offering a similar path.